Pranakasha live stream. Hey folks, it's Matt at Pranakasha Productions, and today we're talking with Erica LaRose.
Hi everyone.
Hello. We met at Star Trek Las Vegas, and then I know you from the Shuttlepod Show. And,
yes, you do.
Apparently, I was stalking your house, and I didn't even know it because I was in LA, and we were hanging out at Venice Beach, and you were saying you live kind of near there.
Yeah, I mean, I live right in it. Like, I'm a few blocks away from the Venice sign, so.
Oh, that's cool. I mean, so we were there like rollerblading, and we went to that skate place to rent the rollerblades.
Yeah.
And then that night we went to go see the Barbie movie, and then halfway through the movie, there's Will Ferrell at Venice Beach, right at the exact place that we were, right where the skate shop is. They shot a big scene right there. And
really?
I was like, hey. I don't know. Have you seen the movie yet?
No, I haven't. I really want to go see it. And I have my outfit and everything.
Oh, yeah. We dressed up. I had like this pink flamingo t-shirt. I mean, it actually didn't quite fit the movie because I hadn't seen it yet, but I thought it was sort of a Ken outfit because it had like pink flamingos on it and dorky shorts and stuff. And
you want to see my outfit?
Sure.
It's right here on my rack of
clothes. Cool.
This is what I want to wear. It's a pink dress.
Nice.
What do you think?
Yeah, that'll work. Yeah, I love that movie. I've seen it 3 times now.
Really?
Yeah. I think it's going to be a classic. I think it's going to be like Rocky Horror or some show like that, which just has a cult following.
Yeah, I think that's great.
So, because it's a musical too. Yeah.
Yes, exactly. I think I heard like really good reviews. Like it shows like the good and the bad of Barbie. Yeah. Basically.
It was way better than I expected it to be. And
awesome.
Yeah, well, now I've seen it 3 times, and I'm like, well, this movie is perfect. Everything about it is super well done.
I'm super.
I don't want to spoil it, so I won't talk too much about it.
Wait, when were you here in Venice Beach?
It was just a couple of weeks ago.
Oh,
because I had just after Star Trek Las Vegas, we had our Space Command booth, and so we carpooled there because we needed to bring all our junk for our table, I should say. And then we had to lug it all back, so we drove back to LA. And then I got tickets for Jay Lee's piano recital that was like the following week.
Oh, cool.
So Jay Lee, the guy from John Lamar from the Orville.
Yeah.
A good pianist. And he put on a classical piano recital in LA. And so I just decided to stay for another week rather than fly back and forth. So I was hanging out in LA the whole week and then basically just hanging out with my Space Command friends and going to the Barbie movie.
Where did you stay in LA? What part?
Well, get this. My friend Elise scored this totally sweet apartment that's within walking distance of like the Hollywood Bowl.
Oh wow.
And basically what I consider like downtown Hollywood, like where the red carpet theater is and all that stuff. And basically what it is there are a bunch of condos in this really super high end place. It's like perfectly kept up, and it's totally beautiful, and it's got like a couple of pools and a tennis court and jacuzzi and all this stuff, and these beautiful pine trees and landings, all this stuff. And she got like the master bedroom of a 2-bedroom apartment. So she's got a roommate for $1,600 a month.
Oh, that's
great! I was
great.
like, holy crap! You know,
wow.
So I don't know how she found it, but she just completely scored it. So
that's
where we were hanging out
there.
Yeah.
So cool.
Yeah, and
Well, let me know the next time you're here, please.
Yeah. Okay, I'm gonna be here or there. The weekend of September 23rd. It's a Saturday for probably 4 or 5 days.
Awesome.
Yeah, for sure. We should like go out to lunch or go up. My place of choice now for like lunch or breakfast is the farmer's market.
Oh yeah.
I love that place.
It's so cool. There's so much to choose from.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's amazing. I haven't been there in a while.
Yeah, that would be fun.
You got a lot of cool stuff there.
Yeah, all kinds of things. So I only know you really from your reel that you showed me, which we're gonna go through and look at, but also mostly from the Shuttlepod show. So I'm interested, like how did you get involved with that show? And like, I know you're the host, and then Mark is like the producer.
Yeah, he's like the creator, showrunner.
And then you guys dreamed it up, or like how did you get involved with it?
So I know Connor and Mark from. I met Mark in 2017. I met Connor on a movie in 2018.
Oh, cool.
And Mark was talking to me, and he's like, I have this idea, and we were starting to play around with podcasts in this office that he was working in.
Okay.
And we were like playing around with equipment, and I was learning a switcher, and I was curious. I was just kind of learning about how the whole thing works.
Okay.
And I didn't know where that was going, but all of a sudden he's like, Connor wants to do a Star Trek show, and I have this idea, and we did a test episode and decided to run with it.
Okay.
Yeah. And wow. So it's evolved a lot. But yeah, I've been there since the beginning, like, as a producer, like, making a list of what we have to do. And like before anything was materialized, I was like on the phone helping make lists. And
okay. So you're the producer as well as the host.
Yes. Yeah.
Okay. And then do you like line up the guests and stuff like that? Or what's the process for that type of thing?
I have sent over a few guests to Mark. I don't know if I've sent over like a handful, and I think they're all like on the list of people to be on the show. Okay. And we've had no problem getting guests on the show. Like just between Connor and Dominic's network, it's just everyone's like, yeah. Most people are like, yeah, of course.
Yeah.
And then, at events, we'll meet more people, and we want to do like, in front of the camera and behind the camera folks. So I think it's great. And, we had Dr. Muhammad Noor on there, which is like.
Oh, yeah. I've had him on my show.
Yeah. I thought I saw that.
Yeah.
So
that's cool.
That makes it easier and really diversifies the whole show, I think. It's really cool.
Okay, that's really interesting. And then right now, because of the SAG strike, is that slowing you guys down at all? Or I see Mark. I see a guy in shorts. That's got to be him.
He said he sees the guy in shorts.
Yeah.
And he's got the Mark hat.
By the way, guys, Mark. I can't remember Mark's last name. Sorry.
Cartier.
Okay, Mark Cartier. Here he comes. Hello. Woo.
Oh, okay. Thank you.
Oh, can I have some?
It's a matcha green. It's a matcha green tea.
Oh,
matcha
I like
green
that
tea
stuff.
almond latte.
Yeah, I'm mostly a La Croix.
Oh, I love La Croix.
Avez-vous de La Croix, monsieur? And also kombucha. There's a certain brand of kombucha I really like.
Français?
Un peu? Tu parles français, mademoiselle?
Un peu.
Un peu. Yeah. J'ai étudié à l'école.
I lived in France for a semester.
Really? What part?
So Nancy, which is like an hour and a half east of Paris on a high-speed train.
Oh, cool. How long ago?
13 years ago.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
Have you been there?
Interesting.
Have you been there?
Okay, so you can be part of my club that demands that people pronounce it the correct way, which is the French way. La Croix.
La Croix. I'll be part of the La Croix.
Unfortunately, apparently, even the people who own it say that it's supposed to be pronounced La Croix. And I'm like, no, it's not. I don't care what they say. Not. It's La Croix. It's a French word.
What does that mean? I don't even know.
La Croix just means the cross.
Oh.
Yeah. What I heard was actually the company of the town that the company that makes La Croix is called La Croix. And it's like, it's in, where is it? Like in Louisiana or someplace like that. And so actually people even pronounce the name of the town as La Croix. So but they pronounce it wrong. Sorry, guys.
That's really funny.
Yeah. So I always will take that stance as far as that goes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm on my headphones, so Mr. Work can't hear us, but I'll have him come in and say hi.
Yeah. So I actually met Mark when you guys were doing your live stream.
Yeah.
I was there with my cello and I was putting on that fake UK accent.
Oh,
and you guys were looking at me like, who is this guy?
Oh yeah. Didn't I ask you to play it?
No, I mean, some you guys asked, but I couldn't. It would be too much.
I know, I'm on my headphones.
Cello.
Hello. Yeah, the cello guy.
Cello.
The cello guy with the fake British accent.
Yeah. You confused the shit out of me because I was in the middle of doing a live Q&A, and I was like, I feel like I missed something.
Yeah.
Took me a second. I apologize for not picking it up and running with it, but
that's okay. That's quite all right. I mean, we were in the vendor room, and you know how chaotic it is in there. So just stuff is just flying everywhere.
Dragon. You got a dragon. You've got a full stack.
This is a Falcon 9.
Yeah, you got a full stack Falcon 9 there. That you see that light Enterprise in the bottom left.
We have that.
Yeah.
We just got it from Vegas.
Yeah, we have that. Vegas.
Also, it's hard to tell, but I have the Guardian of Forever here. See that?
I see that. That's nice.
I got that in Vegas.
Uhura's in it. Is that a picture or is that a model?
No, it's a model. And the vendor who was right next to our Space Command table was selling these, so I bought it from him.
That's awesome.
Yeah, I got.
I love your Enterprise. I love.
Yeah,
that.
This is a Hallmark
really
one.
Cool.
I love
and
that.
all these. Dare I turn it? If I turn it on, it'll keep going. But all these figurines are part of the Hallmark thing. It'll start flashing and they'll start talking and stuff. If I press a certain button.
Also, I see you have the Orville there.
Yeah, and then most importantly, for a guy my age, I have
the French
Control
press.
GX for men. I'm like a spring chicken.
Wait, what is that?
Penis enhancement.
It's a hair shampoo that colors your hair.
Oh my god!
It works really
Call it
good.
a penis. I'm sorry, I thought it was a penis thing.
Well, it's that too. I'm full of vigor.
You got like a parrot back there, and you have an espresso maker, and
that's actually a penguin.
It's the Falcon 9. The Falcon.
This is the Falcon 9 booster. This is the Dragon, which is kind of new. And then I also have, I don't know if you can see this. This is the Doomsday Machine.
Oh yeah.
We have the Orville right here.
Doomsday Machine is amazing.
There's all kinds of stuff. And then here's my Type 2 phaser.
Nice.
Which works. It's on stun.
I didn't mean to interrupt your conversation.
That's all fine.
Wait, that was a plan.
We just freestyle over here.
What are we talking about?
Well, we've gone way off script.
Well, he was just in Venice Beach, so we talked about that.
Oh, you were just here.
Yeah, and I was telling her how I saw the Barbie movie, and halfway through the movie, they shoot at Venice Beach. And I was like, I was just there like 3 hours ago, at the very skate shop that Will Ferrell and his guys were like doing their thing. So, yeah.
I want to go see the Barbie movie, so.
Yeah. You guys have to see it.
It made more money than any other movie for Warner Brothers ever.
Right. That's their top selling movie. And it's not going to stop, I don't think. I mean, I've seen it 3 times now.
Wow.
And actually, the 3rd time I saw it was better than ever. So I'm like, wow, this movie is perfect. Everything about it is so well done.
So cool. Okay, we're going.
Yeah. Anyhow, then we were talking about Shuttlepod, how you guys threw the show together. And I was just going to ask, like, with the SAG strike, did that cut into your guests? Like, are you still able to do interviews right now?
It's a little more complicated. We don't qualify to be a struck show.
Right.
We can carry on because we're a magazine. We talk about people's lives and careers. We're not
a talk show type of thing.
Yeah, but some people are concerned about getting too close to the gray area. So in deference to that, we're booking a lot of behind the scenes people right now.
Well, I have a guy who I know would like to be on your show. I already asked him. Do you know who Sean Kenny is?
I do not.
He played Captain Pike in the original Star Trek series.
Oh, the wheelchair menagerie.
Wheelchair menagerie, Captain Pike.
Yeah, he did a lot of 1 dot, 2 dots.
Yeah, he did. And he also was like the Winston guy on a bunch of billboards. And anyway, I already asked him because me and him are buddies, and I texted him a couple weeks ago, and I said, "Hey, I'm gonna be talking with Erica. You want me to see if you can get on their show?" So I don't know if you guys are into that. He can talk about. He's got a million Star Trek stories to tell.
Best fun Star Trek stories are the best.
That would be cool.
We've got Garrett Wong, excuse me, Sunday, and then we've got Lolita Fajo, longtime Star Trek script coordinator, and then we've got Liz Kuklowski, who's the art director for Picard, who built the Enterprise D bridge.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, she's coming on next week.
All right. The other person
Mary Howard, who is the longtime Star Trek producer.
Also, I don't know if you know who Mark Zickery is. He's a TV writer, and he's the producer of Space Command, which is the table that I was at. But he's the one who wrote Far Beyond the Stars, that really super good DS9 episode.
Yeah.
And then he also wrote for all kinds of shows like the Smurfs, and he also knows everything about Twilight Zone and blah, blah, blah. But I don't know if you're into somebody like that, I could hook you up with him too.
Okay.
So I don't know. I guess me and Erica will text each other.
Yeah.
Okay. Very good.
Well,
okay, I want a shoulder rub.
That was the plan.
I could use a shoulder rub, right?
I know. There's a lot of things happening.
You don't get one.
I have a shoulder rub. I'm talking to you. I have matcha green tea.
And she got a bunch of flowers.
And I got
everything's good. So yeah. Well, okay. So Shuttlepod was just sort of a brainstorm thing. Hey, let's try this, and then it took off.
Yeah.
So whose idea was it to? Because for most podcasts, you just are like mine, where you just set up one camera and just go for it.
Yeah.
But your guys is like you got like 3 cameras, and it's all spiffed up.
We always had more than one. We always started off with more than one camera, of course, because there was one on all 3 of us, and one on the guest, and then by popular demand, Mark was asked to be on camera.
Connor wanted me to be on camera to begin with.
Yes, he did. So
I didn't want to be on camera, and Connor was like, "Well, you're the only one who knows everything about Star Trek."
Yeah.
And I was like, "They don't want to see me. They want to see you guys. They want to see you talk about it, and
So they didn't want you off camera, just trying to do hand signals.
They want to be on camera, like carrying the Star Trek conversation, and then and I fought it, and then it was just.
Eventually, you got to give in.
Eventually, it just happened. Connor was like, "You have to be on camera."
Yeah.
And then some of our Patreon members started picking up gear for our show because we were commenting about how there are things that we wanted to do and what our limitations were, and people were like, "Well, what do you need?" And we made a list of what we needed, and they just got us what we needed.
Yeah. That's great.
Yeah, and then I couldn't tell Connor that I wouldn't be on camera
anymore.
When we have enough cameras for everyone.
Because I remember last year I was talking to them at Star Trek Las Vegas again about a year ago, and they were trying to figure out what to do with the show. I think back then it had maybe 20,000 subscribers, and it was still pretty expensive, and they were in a little argument. It was both Connor and Dominic were arguing about, why do we have to have it be such an expensive show? And I was like, yeah, you guys, you don't need to do all that. I mean, most podcasters just set up their phone and go for it. And then, of course, you didn't go that route. You went the other route, and now it's like it's really took off this year. And that's one of the things that distinguishes it. It's really spiffed up, and it's got a really high production quality.
Yes,
I'm so glad you said that. I literally just got home from meeting with Connor and Dominic now. And we were having a little review of where we're at, where we're going. We just got a permanent space that we're turning into our stage to shoot our show.
Yeah, we won't be moving around anymore.
Yeah, we've got our own home now.
Yeah.
Is that the one that you're using? That's sort of that theater?
No,
they were letting us shoot there. They're wonderful hosts.
The Matrix is a very cool place. It's been really, really fun to shoot there.
Very historical theater.
It's been so cool.
All the actors that come onto our show, they're like, "Oh, I was on a play here."
Yeah,
94.
Right.
And some of them are in the photos that are on the walls there. Yeah. It's really cool.
Oh, did you guys ever show those photos?
That would have been a good
Yeah. I took a lot of behind the scene videos and posted it on our Patreon.
Oh, you did? Okay.
Oh, okay. So you got to be Patreon. Actually, I am a patron. I'm pretty sure I'm contributing $5 a month.
Are you?
10. I should go check. Yeah. Pranakasha Matt. Yeah.
No big deal. What is it?
Yeah. I'll have to look.
Oh, okay.
So, I'm either Pranakasha Matt or I'm Matt Weiss. One of the two.
Okay.
I'll look and see. Oh, that's cool. Yeah, that would be cool just to like do a handheld camera walking around behind the theater and looking at people. So people like signed on the walls and stuff like that. Did they do that?
Well, we might need to go back there because we're gonna upgrade the new space, and we might need somewhere.
We're
to
in our
shoot.
new space, but there's some construction that needs to happen.
So
Our guest next week is an art director, Liz. Part of next week's show is that she's going to assess our space, and then she's gonna set design.
Okay.
Liz, the art director for Picard season 3, is going to be the art director for the Shuttlepod Show, which is really exciting.
Wow.
that cool?
Yeah, it's fun.
That's cool.
She's very nice.
She's very cool.
Hopefully, there's nobody going to hang themselves though. There, right?
No,
So
I'm going to say it's unlikely.
I mean, you never know.
I'm not gonna make any promises I can't keep.
Okay. So, do you guys have an art director right now? Like, because the stage is really kind of artfully done with all those paintings and flowers and
That was
stuff.
a collaboration of a lot. You and the DP usually kind of just.
When we started shooting, I was so blah. The walls were white. We had my dining room table stuck in the corner of a conference room, and it was so blah that I grabbed a bunch of shit from my living room.
Okay.
Like a lamp and some plants,
Yeah.
and like I grabbed my whole bar and set up the bar.
I was telling him that we were shooting in your in an office you were working in.
Yeah,
that's where we started,
in my
yeah.
office. Yeah.
Okay.
Conference room that wasn't
It
really
was
being
empty.
utilized.
Not the whole, nothing, none of it was being used. I was like alone. I was alone on the 6th floor of this office building in Burbank for fucking the entire pandemic, basically.
Wow.
And when we set up to experiment with this show, I just grabbed shit from my living room and some plants. The avocado tree, I just propagated an avocado.
Yeah.
Well, watch out because avocado trees can get awfully big.
Oh yeah, it's getting big.
We've had to repot it at least.
Yeah, it's this third repotted during the
good.
show.
I mean, when I was in LA, I was staying at one friend's house, and they had an avocado tree in the backyard. The trunk was like this big; you could climb it, and it had a jillion avocados in it.
Oh, I want one of those. We love avocados.
Yeah.
Making guacamole.
Yeah.
Making pancetta tonight.
Making pancetta tonight. Do you like? What's your favorite food?
My favorite food. Ooh.
Cuisine.
Well, I can tell you what. I do like Mexican.
Oh.
So, and I did have some avocados today. Let's see.
Yeah.
But I also like Indian food.
Ooh.
Indian
Yeah.
food's great.
He's gonna come out here. We're gonna go to lunch with him. That's
Yeah. Well, we could. I was saying we should go to the farmers market.
yeah. Which we
That
have
place is got so many opportunities. So yeah.
Well, I mean, I came off my headphones so you could speak with Mark, but I can put them back on or whatever you like.
Yeah. I might as well put them back on again.
If we need you again, I'll take them.
If we get bored, we'll have them come back.
Yeah.
Folks, Erica is an actor.
I am.
And she's been in several movies. Maybe we should look at. You want to look at your reel?
Yeah, let's do it.
Okay. Let's
You're
do
just
it right
so
now.
arrogant. I'm sorry, but there's no other way to describe it. You can't really see outside yourself, Daniel, ever. It's just like you've got this weird me tunnel vision and you're just completely lacking in any kind of emotional intelligence whatsoever.
Me?
Yes, you. And it's really sad. You know that? Because I want to help you. And I'm also trying to get through to you. But you've got this impenetrable force field around you and it's frustrating, really, and I'm pretty sure neither of those two things are healthy.
Look, I'm not arrogant just because I'm good at the things that I do. I don't know, would you rather me be bad at things?
So what was that?
Well, that was a collection of things. So that was a film I created.
Oh, cool.
And so I produced that, and we shot it at the building I was living in.
Okay, just on like the roof or something like that?
In Brooklyn, New York. So when you have a chance, you can watch it on Amazon. It's about 15 minutes at the most.
Okay.
And
we'll put a link in the description. So what's it called?
It's called 165 Star.
165 Star. Okay, folks.
And that is the actual
And
address of where we shot.
Leave a review and give it 5 stars. Come on, folks.
Thank you, guys.
Is it on Rotten Tomatoes too?
I don't think so, but it might be. If it is, I don't know.
If it is, give it a Rotten Tomatoes review too. 5 stars. Come on.
Yay.
Independent filmmakers need a lot of love.
Yeah, I was thank you. We do. And I really appreciate that. So that's like, that's at the climax of the film where she just can't take it anymore. But we're not screaming at each other the whole time.
And that's her boyfriend or something like that?
Yeah, that's her boyfriend from Los Angeles, and he's come to visit her.
The actor looked kind of familiar. Has he been in other stuff too, or?
Oh, Gregory Lay. Gosh, I know he's done a lot of independent work. I know he's been on television for sure.
Okay,
and I don't know what I don't know what he's been up to, but he's a great improviser. I can't even find him on here.
Okay.
But yeah, he's great. We before we shot the film, we got to know each other by just going on runs. We ran around New York City.
Oh, fun!
And just talked and ran, and it was really cool, actually.
So did you guys kind of improvise that, or was it straight off, or is it close to the script?
That was very close to the script. I had everything super memorized because it was my movie. I was on it. But I like improvising, and so earlier in the film, there's a lot of improvisation going on, and he definitely brought that to the table. So I kind of in a way, I had to.
Yeah, that's cool.
Yeah, and I didn't mind. It worked.
Well, it's funny because on the show that I do, I wrote the whole thing. Oh wow, beautiful roses.
Oh, that looks better. He's still set decorating.
Yeah, here we go. But I I play a part of my show. But even though I wrote the script, the moment I turn the camera on, I blank out, and so I forget all my lines. So I always have to have the script right there.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So you never know.
Do you make a lot of movies?
It's just I have a Star Trek fan series that I do.
Oh, that's
and it's got 4 episodes now.
Okay.
And it's quite elaborate because the whole thing's done with green screen, so it takes forever to do an episode. It took me a year to do the last one.
Is this union or non-union?
It actually is now SAG approved because it's a micro budget. And I noticed that
line me up.
That SAG micro budget projects are not being struck right now. You can actually still do them and not get in trouble with union.
Well, on that note, I've just had so many ultra low budget auditions.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I'm shooting episode 5 right now, and I have several SAG actors that are doing it this time. This is the first episode where it was SAG approved, so I could actually get some people that I know to do it. So it can do the way it works with this micro budget thing is you're allowed to do SAG and non-SAG actors, and you don't get in trouble.
Oh, that's great.
And plus, I found out that the rates that I pay are actually quite good compared to what most people get. Like the way I do it, it's typically with a green screen remotely. So like I would have the person set up like a phone that has a really good camera on a tripod, and then something else where I can direct them through Zoom, and we'd spend 2 hours or something, and then I typically pay them $100 for 2 hours. And I found out, that's a pretty good thing compared to your typical day rate.
Yeah, that's fantastic.
Yeah, so
love it.
Yeah, so we'll figure out something. We'll figure out some role for you.
Yeah, that would be so fun.
And a show.
You're in Seattle, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I haven't been there yet.
And when I'm in LA again, a couple of my friends are in the upcoming episode, so we're actually just going to shoot their stuff at their house. And anyway, including Sean Kenny. So,
cool.
Yeah, he was at Star Trek Las Vegas, and he's amazing because he's over 80 years old now, but he looks like he's 65, and he's still super active.
Wow.
And
I think that's so cool.
Yeah.
I love when I see that.
Yeah. So actually, that would be a big draw to have him as a guest, just to say this guy's amazing because he's 80 years old, but he's still going at it full speed.
Yeah.
So, and he's also producing a show. I signed an NDA, so I can't say much about it. But there's a sci-fi show that he and his wife are producing that's really good. That it's going to come out soon, and hopefully I'll be able to say more about it. I'll probably interview him on my show.
Oh, that'd be great.
Yeah.
Were you a part of it at all, or?
I'm an investor in it. They also gave me a role.
Oh.
So I'm going to play the role of this of a mayor. I can at least say the show is kind of about UFOs and stuff.
Oh, cool.
So my role, as I know right now, is I'm this mayor that's telling everybody to calm down right after they found out there are a bunch of aliens in town.
Oh,
so, anyway,
you can say that. Okay, yeah. I'll be waiting.
Yeah, I don't know if you went and talked to him, but Wesley his table was really close to your guys' one.
Oh, okay.
And he was like the star of Land of the Lost, which was that, I don't know if you know that show from the 70s.
Yeah, I don't think I talked to him,
but he recently is producing a show all about ghosts and stuff.
Ooh.
Where they have this weird thing where what they do is they go to these haunted houses and they have to all be naked, and then they have this equipment that registers whether the ghost touches their skin.
Mm-hmm.
And so the whole show is just to somehow scientifically prove that these ghosts are touching them. And so that's the show. I forgot what it's called. Oh,
wow. Yeah. It's interesting. None of it's released yet, or?
I believe it is released now. In fact, I can probably put a link down there somewhere.
Yeah.
I think it's on Amazon.
Cool.
So, yeah. And so all kinds of things happen at Star Trek Las Vegas. Was that your guys' first time there?
Yeah, that was my first convention, and Mark's first convention as well.
Connor and Dominic have been there a bunch of times, so.
Oh yeah, that's what they do. But it was the show's first time there. It all kind of came together last minute. Like, I think we were going back and forth to whether or not we were going to be there, and then it was just like, okay, yeah, let's do it. And cool. Stephanie, who runs it, she was so helpful, and we got to actually have dinner with her the other night, and she's lovely.
Okay. You mean Stephanie? Because the person I worked with wasn't Stephanie. It was what's her name? Oh crap! Now I can't pull it up.
Who you were working with, Stephanie?
No, it wasn't Stephanie. It was oh darn it. Well, whatever. It was the person that. So I don't know who. So Stephanie was the STLV person.
Yeah, she works for Creation.
Okay.
Yeah. Senior Vice President, Talent and Production.
Okay, so you probably were higher up in the ladder than most of us.
Well, yeah, we were.
The person that we worked with is Letitia. That was her name.
Ah, I may have met her.
Yeah.
It was. I learned a lot. In that experience.
So did they? I know that they do different deals. Like for our setup, we had to pay for our table. So I had to pay like $750 for our table. Plus I had to pay another $500 for electricity.
Yeah.
It turned out that our table was right next to an outlet on a wall. So I didn't need it. In fact, I don't think I actually paid them the $500 because I said, you guys never came. So, I'm not going to pay you. And besides, I didn't need you anyways. And I'm pretty sure
I had an outlet right here.
Yeah.
Double check.
Yeah. But anyways, I found out that a whole bunch of the Star Trek actors that come there and have booths, it's more like actually Creation guarantees them. They're like, well, we'll guarantee that you make X amount of money on autographs. And if you don't, we'll pay the difference.
Yes.
So I don't know if you guys got a deal like that or something, or.
I don't believe so, just because we're so new, but I know that's one of the ways it works for the actors there.
Yeah.
I think there's like a couple ways. Like you either, can come and go from your booth, or like you have your in the other rooms, your designated time, and they pay you a certain amount to be there, right?
Yeah.
So,
well, as you know, I mean, if you're a well-known Star Trek actor, you can rake in the dough there.
I heard
like $100. I mean, a lot of times there was a thing, like for example, Ethan Peck, who plays Spock in Strange New Worlds. I think he was charging $50 an autograph and another $50 if you wanted a selfie. And a lot of people will do an autograph and a selfie, so he's getting $100 a pop. Every 2 or 3 minutes. So
it was cool. Yeah, that's great. I experienced a little bit of that. I had my headshots out there, and
so people signed autographs for you?
Yeah, great. Yeah, it was cool. But I was taking pictures for free just because it was so cool to see our fans there,
right?
And I talk to these people on Instagram and social media all the time, and especially our diehard fans that have been there from the beginning. I respond to all of them. Sometimes it'll take me a week or something, but
that's great.
I do, and it's really sweet because sometimes in the live chat, someone will be like, "Thanks for making me feel better the other day," and I'm like,
"Oh, that's cool."
I'm like, "Oh."
So, are you the one who responds to the Facebook messages?
No, I'm talking about my personal page. My personal
I should friend
Instagram.
you. Okay, I'll friend you.
Yeah.
Are we allowed to put the link to that, or do you have to be?
You can put all. Yeah, you can put all my links.
Okay, so we'll put the link to friend Erica's Facebook friend page.
Yeah.
And she might even respond
Instagram.
to your DMs.
Yeah, I might DM you back.
That's cool.
Yeah.
Okay, that's fun. Okay. So this is where this clip that we just saw was where you met Connor.
Yes.
Okay, and at that time, did you know he was part of Star Trek Enterprise?
That's a good question. Because I didn't watch Star Trek before I got involved. I don't.
Probably not.
I think I knew by him telling me.
Yeah.
That's it.
Because that show came out in the early 2000s.
Yeah.
I'm imagining you were pretty young at that time.
Yeah. Yeah, I've only watched it recently, but I've watched a lot of Connor on Enterprise at this point. But that was the first Star Trek I watched.
Well, there you go. Strangely enough, even though the show got canceled prematurely, a lot of people now go back and watch it, and they're like, "Wow, this is one of the best Star Treks there is." Actually.
Yeah. Yeah.
So.
I really loved watching it, and it because it was the first show I watched, it felt weird watching the other ones because I was I just loved, the Gateway Trek. There we go. It's
a Gateway Trek.
It was my Gateway Trek show, and so it has a special place in my heart for sure.
That's cool.
Yeah. So yeah, that was. I spent some time with Connor driving him around. I was an actress in that movie, of course, but I also stayed the whole time and helped produce.
Oh, you helped produce that show?
Yeah, I actually ended up doing a lot of the extras casting.
Oh.
Because we needed them, and we had to go find them there. And I made good friends with the production manager that I was working with, and he was teaching me a lot. And he's actually my dear friend now.
Oh, cool.
And my neighbor.
There you go. Yeah, I found out, once I started learning more about how things work in Hollywood, I found out that if you're a producer of a show, sometimes that means that you're the person who goes and lines up the caterers and makes sure there's enough folding chairs on site and has to do all that nuts and bolts type of stuff.
Yeah.
Make sure there's enough toilet paper in the porta potties and.
So I was originally, I think Mark knows. I was originally supposed to just be a PA, one of the PAs on set, which I did, and I worked.
Personal assistant, is that what that is?
Yes.
You're supposed to work in production.
And
they wanted you to do art shorthand.
Yeah, I helped the art department a little bit. I was bouncing around.
You're doing a lot of stuff.
Cool.
So you're much more than an actor and a host. You're like a producer, you're a writer.
Yeah.
Basically a filmmaker.
Yes.
You got you have any projects like that in the works right now?
Oh gosh, I so want to. We have a script that we're really excited about, so hopefully we'll get that off the ground soon. But yeah, I'd love to even just I don't want to do too many more short films. I'd rather focus on features, but I would love to just make a short film right now just to get my creative juices flowing. Maybe like, especially in Venice, just because this place feels like home to me. And I don't know what I don't have any ideas at the moment, but, you know, and one might come to me right after this.
Yeah.
This show.
Well, I actually could just go around interviewing people there on skates.
Yeah.
Some reality show or something like that.
Yeah. Yeah. We have another like show that we've been working on quite a bit, just by like, you know, brainstorming, taking notes, and it would be like a life, what would you call it? Like a lifestyle show? Restaurants?
Oh, yeah. Travel around and eat at every restaurant.
A lifestyle show with a spin. A lifestyle travel show. With a spin.
Okay. Do you know who Larry Nemechek is? You know that guy? He's kind of a Star Trek super fan. He was also what he does is he does sort of a travel show tour thing where he drives people around the LA area and goes to all these places where a bunch of Star Trek shows were shot. Like especially
really cool.
Vasquez Rocks.
Oh yeah, I'm supposed to do a shoot there. I'm supposed to do a photo shoot there soon.
Yeah, I went there and I was all dressed up in my Captain Kirk outfit. So I was like, I'm gonna shoot a bunch of shit of me. So I got all kinds of footage because we totally lucked out because it was completely perfect weather.
Oh,
nice. It was like scattered clouds, so clouds looked really cool. And the lighting was perfect.
Oh,
so I got so much good material. I got to somehow work it into my show.
Yeah.
Episode in the future. I mean, I have fighting a Gorn. You know.
Were you speaking? Were you speaking at all, or were you just kind of walking around?
I was just basically going around, hiding behind rocks, and shooting my phaser at stuff. But see what I can do. I can easily take that stuff, and then I can use a green screen, and work it in where I could work up close-ups. You know, and
I think it's great.
Dialogue with the green screen and stuff and make it all work.
Yeah, I think it's great.
Yeah.
I love it.
Anyhow. Okay, so now we're way off track again. So now we're going to do the next one.
Okay. What are you doing with that?
Why does it matter?
We have to put that back.
We don't have time.
We have to put that back now!
We don't have time, okay? Do you want to see her or not?
What was that? So that little scene in the car. So there, you're a pretty different character.
Yeah, I'm kind of a badass.
Okay.
Gosh, that was so long ago. That was a short film that I didn't even audition for. It was friends of friends that saw some of my work, and they were just like, "Do you want to do this part?"
Cool.
And I was like, "Yeah." And later on, I took this as a compliment. They're like, "You should have played the cop, like the lead." And I was like, "Okay," like not in a bad way. Like, not that the role I did was not fit for me, but I was like, they wanted. I don't know. I guess they would have liked me on set more, maybe. But yeah.
Good.
Yeah,
so
great.
What was going
really
on in
cool.
that scene? So you had something in your hand. It was like a rosary or something, or was it?
Yeah, no, it was just a necklace I stole.
Oh, okay.
Just a necklace.
Yeah, it was a necklace I stole, and it tied into that guy's girlfriend somehow. You know, I honestly, I don't even remember. But yeah. I mean, I'm assuming now that I think about it, that was her stuff. Yeah, we were taking her stuff, and I don't know how that ties into him actually ever seeing her again, but there was a reason.
Okay. All right, next.
Next.
So now we're here.
Kara!
Russell! Everything makes more sense. I feel in control again.
Russell, think of your brain as an equestrian on a horse. The rider has control of the reins, but the horse knows the direction it wants to go. This essentially frees the horse.
I feel I'm fine.
There's nothing to be afraid of. It's better, Russell. we can move on together.
Relax, Russell. Sit back and get ready to enjoy an easier life.
Okay, so that one is
Touchy
fascinating. So that was a short film too, right?
That was so fun. That was one of the few films I got to shoot in Connecticut, which is where I'm from.
Oh. Okay.
And so every time, I mean, I've only shot 3 films there, but when I was living in Brooklyn and they were like, oh, you got to go to Connecticut to shoot this movie, I always was like really excited because it felt cool to go back to my home to, follow my dreams. The first short that I did in Connecticut was like 15 minutes from where I grew up.
Oh, cool.
So I just slept at my mom's.
Oh, that's great.
That was really cool.
That's great.
But that one was, in a really a beautiful town and really big house. And basically my character is testing out a beta drug to deal with her depression and stuff. And the drug.
She is. Okay.
Yeah. So that drug essentially turns people into animals.
Turned her into an animal. Then why was the whole scene was kind of focused around the guy? I thought it was some weird type of sci-fi thing where he was going to go into suspended animation or something like that after he fell asleep. Why were they trying to convince him to lie down and?
They want him to take the drug just like all of them. Like, so.
Oh, they all took the drug.
Yeah. And that scene in the doctor's office, the other couple, like they took it later on. So I'm a little bit farther down the animal train.
And then what happens when you take the drug and you become an animal? So
yeah. What? At the end of the movie, we all just run into the woods. I mean, look, it's a short film. So, it's kind of, they're all kind of
werewolves, sort of.
Yeah. Yeah. I think like that kind of idea could easily be turned into a feature. It's just, there's a lot to play around with there.
Okay.
Yeah, it was really cool. It was fun to explore that for sure.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So now we're going to go.
Miss, are you all right?
Peaceful out here. Saw places like this in books when I was younger.
Miss, there aren't any cars out there. How'd you get here?
Can I ask you a question?
Sure.
Would you kill someone if you knew they were going to grow up to hurt a lot of people?
I don't know. Oh, Jesus.
Ma! Ma!
What happened? Who's that?
I don't know. I think she's been shot. Call an ambulance.
Just to save everyone. I can't do it.
You're gonna be okay.
I'm out of time.
Oh, God. I want to help you, but I don't know what to do. Don't tell me what to do.
Okay, that was cool. And I told you already that was my favorite one.
Yeah. That's for last.
So that's a time travel one, right?
Yeah, that was really fun.
Okay.
That was really cool. Again, another short. Yeah, it was just, I loved doing sci-fi. That was great. I was getting really into my character. Actually, I was talking to Mark about this the other day, and I wouldn't because that was my first time meeting that kid in that part of the movie. Okay. And I was very, and not that I'm not anymore, but I was very method at the time. I wouldn't talk to him.
Oh, really? You did method acting?
Yeah, I would not talk to him.
Ooh, so you would completely become your character for all day long.
Yeah. But that, we shot one day. I shot a couple days that movie because they had some other scenes that I don't think they put in there. But
So did you get a lot of training in that, or you just kind of did it yourself?
I went to a school. I went to a school called Playhouse West where we learned, we were taught Meisner technique, and he really always. My favorite teacher there always encouraged us to kind of go experience what our character was experiencing, right? Okay. So, like, I remember doing a scene in class where me and my husband were trying to buy a house, and we get into a fight while we're looking at the house, and I forgot the play, but so me and my scene partner went and looked at a house together, and we did the scene in the house, and it was really. I mean, it. I'm not saying you have to always go, rehearse, go find the setting and then go rehearse there, but it did help, and so. I was pregnant in a movie I did, so I would wear the belly around and kind of walk around and. Oh, okay.
Pretend like you really were.
Yeah. Okay. So I like to play around with that stuff.
Yeah, I mean, there's like people have different approaches to that. Like when I first started doing acting. Just basically off my YouTube channel, before I had any training at all, I just really liked becoming different characters because it gets you outside of yourself. So I found it really liberating just to become a different character and just totally pretend you're them. Mm-hmm. And then, but then later, I mean, some people are saying, well, you probably shouldn't do that because you might end up going crazy after a while and lose who you really are. I don't know if that's really that. I mean,
there's something to be said about that. I think I did a film once where I got really into my character, and by the end, I was pretty emotional about it, because it was done. She was done, and it was this moment of letting it all kind of go. Mm-hmm. So I can see what you're saying, because you do that enough times,
you get attached.
Yeah.
And I mean, every character that if it's got to be some slice of you, right? It's gotta have some relationship to who you really are.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's an art in itself, I think. Coming in and out of characters. Yeah.
So like when you were doing that technique, could you just like snap your fingers and come out of it, or would you just basically really have to get yourself in the character and just stay there for long periods during the shoot?
I would stay, yeah. Especially back then. Yeah. Uh-huh. I think it's evolved for me. Uh-huh. But I was working that way for a while, yeah.
Okay.
I liked it.
Yeah, I like it too. I mean, I like becoming someone else.
Yeah.
Because then you're someone else, and you're sort of watching this other person, and it just kind of gets you out of your usual grind.
Yeah. It's nice.
Plus, the other thing I discovered is once I learned how to pull up a couple of different characters. I was actually kind of useful at work and stuff, because then sometimes I could get in a situation where, like, well, if I was this character, it would really help. Like this particular character happens to be a real asshole. And what you really need is somebody who can be an asshole and stand up to people or whatever. Then you just pull that character up and be them.
That is
stuff
brilliant.
Like that.
I love that.
That's why I suddenly realized, the people who would make the best politicians would be actors, because they know how to look good in camera. They can deliver their lines.
Yeah.
And they can, put on a good show.
Yeah.
I mean, no wonder, there have been some actors that were really successful.
Exactly. Exactly. There have been.
Yeah.
That's really interesting. Did you study acting?
Very late in the game. I've recently been taking acting lessons.
Oh, so cool.
But mostly, like I was never in plays, and I don't have any stage acting experience at all. It's all on camera.
Yeah.
So, and also some accent stuff too. It turned out that my accent coach also was an acting coach, so he kind of switched halfway through, and he said, Matt, we should, instead of working all these accents, we should just get some of your acting a little more grounded first. So we started doing that instead.
Let's get the foundation down.
Yeah. So, but he definitely wasn't a Meisner type of thing. He was much more into. Well, one of the big things with him, which I'm sure you know all about, is how he would just say that acting is just reacting off your partner.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And so.
Yeah.
Unless, is that Meisner? No, I'm confused. Maybe that is what Meisner
Meisner is living truthfully under imaginary circumstances.
Okay.
I mean, that's one of the things.
Okay, I think because he was always like, Matt, you can't keep putting on these characters. They're all fake. You need to first get to the reality of who you are and come from that type of a place. And then later you can add these caricatures on top of it type of thing.
Sorry about the motorcycle.
I can't even hear it.
Oh.
Yeah. Anyhow. And the whole business of more, less is more and all that stuff.
Yeah, I mean, especially on camera, right?
The thing is like, I mean, it sort of depends on who you are. Like, I mean, in real life, I kind of exaggerate everything anyways. That's how I am.
Yeah.
So it's really easy for me to exaggerate when I'm
and a lot of character actors do that.
Yeah.
Would you consider yourself a character actor?
Well,
I haven't watched
I'm an actor wannabe. I'm not even SAG approved. I haven't even made it through that hoop yet. So,
Well, you'll be in the poop
I'm just
in
a
no
guy
time.
on YouTube. Yeah. Anyhow.
If you want to be.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, also what I realized is, I also quickly learned that being an actor is kind of a raw deal for a lot of people. Like, even if you are somewhat successful, I mean, like I know a lot of actors who get a lot of TV gigs and stuff, but they're still just barely making it by financially. Because what it's like. You might get a good gig for a week or two, but then you don't get anything for months.
Yeah.
You got to figure out how to pay the bills.
Yeah, a lot of actors who do commercial work have an easier time, especially if they're booking like larger commercials.
Oh, okay.
That keep playing kind of gets them by.
Because of the residuals.
Yeah.
Of course, yeah, but I mean, how satisfying is that?
Not as satisfying.
Control GX for man. I'm like a spring chicken, raring to go.
That's really good.
Anyway.
Oh my God. That's great.
But anyways, I mean, so you get to do that 100 times in a row. I mean, you get paid several $1,000s that day of what I've heard. And then some residuals if you're lucky, if you got a good contract.
Yeah, I mean,
but still, is that, would you call that artistically satisfying?
I wouldn't. It's just it's just something to get you by.
Stone, yeah.
Yeah, but I mean, I'm sure people who kind of get stuck in the commercial world, crave to do more artistic projects.
But there's where you have the advantage, and I do too. Which is, instead of having to go to 10 jillion auditions and then take whatever part you can get, no matter how crappy it is, instead you create your own film, write it yourself, put yourself in it, and then you can create whatever character you want to play.
Yeah.
Which is way more fun.
Hopefully it touches people and make another one, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's way more.
I haven't watched your your series yet, but I look forward to it.
Yeah, I'll send it to you. If I haven't already. But yeah, it's fun. It's really fun. Well, see, don't get me going because we'll end up just talking about my shit. And I want to talk about you.
Okay.
But it's super fun. So I'm really interested. See, I didn't know you were a producer and a writer too. So now you're like, wait, maybe I want to do another short film. Could you do something just off a crazy idea? Like how long does it take from you waking up in the middle of the night with your crazy idea to having the script written and actually shooting it? Like, how long is that process?
So with 165 Star, my collaborator wrote the dialogue, but I told him the story that I wanted to tell.
Okay.
And I helped edit the script a bit. But if I were to go back, I think I would have probably wrote it alongside him, like the whole time. And not because he didn't do a good job. It's just like I knew the situation so well.
Right. And you know what's going through your head.
Yeah. And when I first moved to LA, so I've lived in LA twice now.
Oh, okay.
So this is my second time. Brooklyn was in between. I spent a summer, because I was really young and I was like, I wanted to create, and I was booking these films and stuff, but I wanted to like have a bit more control, and I wanted to express the stuff in my head. So I spent a summer at this great little cafe writing.
Oh, cool.
Yeah. And I forgot the name of the film. There's this film group, but they would take people's scripts and they would cast the actors for you. I think they're still around. And
do like a table read or something, or actually?
They would like perform. They would perform on stage. It was there was a lot of people there, and it was the staged reading, but they would rehearse. I think they rehearsed it, and if I'm not mistaken, they would get someone to help go through rehearsal. They didn't have the writers do that, but they took my script.
Right.
And you get to go up there and you talk about it, and then it was my first time seeing these actors read my script. Okay. And it was so bizarre because it's like I didn't cast them, and it was just like I was just like, whoa, this is so cool. Like I didn't actually. They portrayed it in a way that I didn't necessarily see it, but it still worked.
Right.
And people were like laughing more than I thought they would. Mm-hmm. So I was like, oh, maybe this is more of a dark comedy than a dark
wow.
than just like a drama, And so
wow.
it was one of the coolest moments ever. I don't talk about it a lot, but it was really gratifying. And so I don't know. I like creating. So I think.
So that was the thing that really inspired you then to keep going, right?
Yeah. Yeah. That was, it was, and a few like people who have been in the game for a while. And one of the actresses that read for the mom, she was like, keep, she was just patting me. She's like, keep doing what you're doing. You're good. And
right.
I was like, oh, really sweet.
So when did you discover that you were like a writer? Like did you journal and stuff when you were a kid or anything like that, or?
I journaled, yeah. Mm-hmm. I think I spent a lot of time in my head. I was an only child,
Okay.
And I have a half brother and sister, but like I only saw them sometimes, and no one was really home a lot. Like,
oh, okay.
I was alone a lot, like not in a terrible way or anything, but.
So you did a lot of daydreaming?
Yeah. Uh-huh. Yeah. That's a good question. No one really asks me that. Yeah. So I think that I noticed myself, it happens frequently where these things are happening and I come up with an idea in my head. Okay. I don't know if that happens to you, but it's like, it happens. It's like, I'm like, this whole movie plays out in my mind, and interesting.
So the trick is to capture it somehow before it goes whoosh,
I know. I've let a lot of them go because I'm just like, I guess, it's just.
Okay, now I'm kind of getting, I see what you're about. So you have a lot going. So you're a really creative type of person. A lot goes on in between the words.
Yeah.
In the brain.
Yeah.
Okay. So then like, was there a moment like in high school or something where you got to do like a creative writing class or something like that, or like what was your first story or script that you wrote where you just discovered, hey, I can actually do this?
Oh boy. The first time I wrote something, I got my first computer ever. I think it was a Dell.
Okay.
I think I was in elementary school or middle school. I don't.
Okay. So 5th or 6th grade.
Elementary. Yeah. And the first thing I did is I pulled up, I think it was Word or whatever it was, and I started writing a story about like a hurricane. Like a natural disaster story.
Okay.
It was like the first, and I don't think I finished it, but it's like, that was like the first thing I did on my computer.
And then you sold it and they turned it into Sharknado.
Yeah, exactly.
It was a great hit.
So like, that's the first, no, that's funny. That's the first moment I remember writing like something creative. I mean, besides, being a kid, they have you make books and, you write all, write these stories but yeah, I didn't I got to explore things that I really wanted to explore, like basically towards the end of college. I think what happened, yeah, I think what happened is, certain things happened in my life where I was just doing what I was supposed to be doing. Go to college, get the degree.
What was your major at that time?
I was in business school.
Okay.
So, and I didn't really want to be there, but I loved the campus, and I loved where
What college was it?
It's called Roger Williams University.
Okay. I don't know where that is.
So I was it's in Rhode Island.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Really beautiful, and I just I felt at home there.
Oh, good.
On the water, as I am, close now, and I guess that's kind of my thing. But
you're part mermaid.
Yeah, I'm part mermaid. But what was I saying? Yeah, I almost left a few years into college because I came out to LA actually in college.
Okay.
And I almost just I came out here with my friends, and then I was like, maybe I loved it here.
Okay.
And I was like, maybe I'll just quit school and just go out to LA, right? Because that was a dream always,
Right.
And I didn't, but I kept changing my major. I just didn't I don't know. I've probably changed it 4 or 5 times within the same business school.
Okay. So it went from business to then what? Do you remember what the next major was?
Well, it was all in the business school. It was business
different aspects of business. Okay.
It was business management, finance, international finance. And then they wanted to recruit me to manage, the school gives $50,000 for a selected students to manage money in stocks. I think they gave them 10 or 50 grand. I don't remember. It was some big number.
That's strange. The students were the ones that managed the portfolio of the.
Yeah. Well, they had a special room and everything.
Yeah.
And
day trading, basically.
Yeah. I mean, they were always in there, and I was like, you know what? I don't want to do that. And that's when I decided to go to France.
So this is interesting. So, okay. So you got how in the world was somebody, it sounds like you were really creative and daydreamed a lot as a kid. Then you just kind of said, well, I got to grow up and go to business school. How did you end up even wanting to go to business school?
I just thought it was if I didn't know what I'm going to do, at least I know how to run a business. I don't know. I just figured it was a basic thing that would be good to have, I guess.
Okay. Of course, as you know, I mean, there's a lot more to it than just bean counting and all that. The best way, the most important thing with the business is developing relationships with your customers.
Yeah.
And I mean, so then it can become really human type of thing.
Yeah, no, I mean, I learned a lot. I don't regret it at all.
Yeah.
And the marketing, I ended up with a marketing and communications degree.
Oh, okay.
With it. And, I took away a lot from that, You know, as an actor, you are your own business. You are like an entrepreneur. So
especially nowadays, social media.
That's how I see it. So
okay. Yeah.
I've always seen it that way. I just never thought about. Maybe I felt like I was too old. It's weird because I wanted to do theater in high school like terribly, but I didn't like high school. I didn't like people in high school. I was scared. Okay. And, you know, my counselor there kept telling me to go to the drama club and do the thing. And I was really close. And then I was like, I just don't like anyone.
Huh. Okay.
You know, it's like, yeah, I didn't jive there.
Same thing with me. Like I had in high school, I didn't want to have anything to do with any of the kids that were in acting.
Yeah.
Or the dancers or any of them. I'm like, they're all full of themselves. I'm going to stay as far away from those fools as I can. But now, years later, now I'm like getting into that.
No, I mean, it's cool. It had nothing to do with specifically the theater kid. It was more just like I just didn't have a great high school experience. And the most popular girl in school was like in the drama club. And I was like, I don't know. It was a small school.
Okay. You know what that reminds me of is it wasn't in your reel, but it was in your previous reel where you guys did a takeoff on the Breakfast Club.
Yeah. Yeah. Did you like that?
Did you feel like kind of like that girl?
Like the outcast?
Yeah.
In my own way, yeah.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Did you ever go that way? I mean, like, did you like dress up kind of goth or be like a punk rocker or anything like that in high school?
I went through phases. Yeah, I had a, you know, I went through like a preppy phase, and I went through like a, you know, more of that kind of rocker girl phase.
Yeah.
You know, it's just like a weird time where you're trying to see where you fit in.
Right.
And I just started doing what I was passionate about a little bit later in life, and that's okay.
Yeah.
You know,
that's great.
Yeah. But
now that you're kind of now that you're part of the Shuttlepod Show, which is quite successful, I mean, then now you can sort of jump off in different directions. I mean, that's how you got my attention.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, that's Erica on Shuttlepod. I got to go talk to her.
Yeah. Thank you. That was so nice.
Nice to meet you there. I'm really interested in now learning more about like some of your projects, some of your film projects and stuff. Like, okay, so like topics that interest you, it seems like everything we saw was kind of psychological based.
Yeah.
Kind of goes into the darker reaches of people's psyche.
Yeah.
That's your thing?
I like that a lot.
Okay.
Yeah.
Is it sort of like self-examination or?
Yeah, I think
what's the fascination there?
I'm like, I love learning about psychology. I had never had any desire to be a psychologist or anything. My dad did actually, but I just I find it all very like fascinating, like what motivates people and why, and then how that's like executed. And I don't know. Yeah. I mean, it's a really good question. I like digging deep. Right. And so for me, it's like, it's just like an empty canvas that you can just like paint. Right. It's like, there's endless creativity there.
Okay. I hear you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's lots of like, you can take a line from a script, and there's like, that's what the subtext is for that could be, you know, so many things.
Any number of things. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Have you done like any therapy yourself? Like a lot of self-examination or?
Oh, have I been in?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I know lots of, I figured all actors did therapy, but I found out a lot of them don't.
Oh yeah, maybe acting is their therapy. I feel like it was mine for a while.
Seems to me like if you're going to be a good actor, you want to really discover what makes your own self tick.
Oh my gosh, I'm a huge fan of therapy, and And I also like used to talk my friends through stuff a lot.
Oh, I just had a friend talk me through something yesterday.
Yeah.
She was really good at it too.
Yeah. So in no way do I want that to be my profession, but I enjoy like there was a time where I really enjoyed helping like my friends work through stuff because it helped me too, you know. It helped me learn what I had been learning or discover stuff about myself as well. So I haven't been able to explore like directing very much, but I think that might be something really fun. And when I did 165 Star, I did chime in quite a bit with direction because
have you ever done any kind of teaching, anything like that?
No. But I've had a lot of friends help me audition lately.
Oh, good.
And some of them are great. Like they just really have like a knack for coaching. And I feel that if I started helping my friends a lot, I would get a lot of joy out of helping.
Well, as far as I can tell from my limited experience in directing, it seems like directing is basically teaching and coaching.
Yeah,
and
pretty
inspiring.
Much. Yeah.
I mean, just kind of helping the actors find their best space. That's how I like to do it.
Mm-hmm.
And plus, at least when I do it, I like to let people go off script if they want to. What we'll do is we'll do a couple takes where it's right on exactly what the script is, and then I'll say, well, we can do some alternate ones where you can just kind of improv off it if you want.
Love that. That's great.
And some people are really good at that, and their improvised stuff ends up being way better.
Really?
Than what was on the page.
Yeah.
But it's like...
It's a skill.
Yeah, and it's... also, like with what I found, with the best thing to do when you're directing an actor is give them a lot of love and just make them feel good and get them in a good space, and let them just go for it.
That's the way you do it.
Yeah. I mean, sometimes I get really particular about what I want, but then, but also there's a lot of joking around too, and because it's mostly over green screens on Zoom and stuff, and so
that's so fun.
Yeah,
I'm sure you learn a lot too while you're directing them, right?
Oh, I was going to ask that question. So for Shuttlepod, are you the one who edits it, or who does the editing?
He asked if he's taking a nap. No, I know. I don't edit. We have a couple editors.
Okay.
But that's a big job. And it's actually, the editing looks so great now that it's becoming even more of a job that I don't participate in.
Yeah, I noticed, like, for one thing, some of the latest interviews I saw, they'll be cutting from the different cameras. And then every once in a while, they'll just sort of randomly show a reaction shot of you,
Yeah.
And I'm like, I wonder how they decide when they want to throw that in there or not. So it's like...
I know, it is interesting because I know that they were editing live for a minute.
Oh, they
just
do
to
it
make it
on the fly. Wow. Okay.
To make it easier later, but I don't know if they're still doing that.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Okay.
I don't have... Do you edit your own stuff?
Yeah. Well, see, that's the thing. And I edit and direct my own stuff, and I always figured that that's how everybody did it. Because, like, when I'm directing, I'm already thinking, okay, how am I going to edit this? How am I going to make this work with what's going on here? And I'm thinking about how I'm going to cut between the two characters and stuff like that. So I'm thinking all that stuff.
Yeah.
And then when I found out that usually the editor and the director aren't the same person, I'm like, well, how can that work? Because, like, if you're directing, you have to really know how it's going to be all put together. At least that's what I thought.
Mm-hmm.
But,
the editor does it. I mean, you could get an editor and be in the room and guide him,
Yeah, and then I guess that's what I found out. A lot of times that's how it works. You usually like side by side with them.
Yeah.
But yeah, a good editor, I mean, can take something that's basically crap and make it into something really good if they've got a good eye and they can find the good stuff in it.
Such an important job.
Yeah, it's a super important job. Yeah. Wow.
So,
okay. Well, I'm really now interested in all your creative stuff.
oh, thanks.
Yeah. So you'll have to give us some links. We'll put them in the description, and then for sure, let me know if you end up doing one of those projects. That just another short film or something like that.
Yeah,
and
I will.
You can come back and we can talk about it, and I can help you promote it and stuff on here.
Thank you.
And
thank you so much.
Yeah, and then we should like go out to lunch, you, me, and Mark, or whoever wants to come along, and I might even be able to bring Sean Kenny if you want to talk to him.
Oh, that'd be fun. Let's do that. Yeah. We'll go to the farmer's market.
Yeah, that's their favorite spot. There's one restaurant they always go to. And,
in there, yeah.
Yeah.
Cool.
And we'll figure out some stuff.
Hopefully we can get him on the show. Hopefully you'll be here soon, and hopefully I have something creative to.
How big is your backlog when you shoot a show? Like, how long is it before it's finally published?
Well, lately we shoot on Wednesday and we air it on Sunday.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Cool.
But we have a couple backlogged right now.
Okay, and you typically do one show a week type of thing?
Mm-hmm. Okay. I think the idea is to shoot a lot of them, have them there so that everyone can take a break.
Right.
Yeah, maybe like
cool.
a week off here, a week off there.
That's always nice.
Yeah.
Yeah. Very good.
And now with the new studio space, I think that's something that will just be so much easier.
So when are we going to see the first show in the new studio?
Not this Sunday, next Sunday.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay, and you always release on Sundays. Okay.
Yeah.
That's smart. I should do that.
Yeah.
I just release whenever. But I shouldn't say this. I just got a new marketing director. We had our first meeting today.
Oh, yay. Congratulations.
And she was also she started telling me things that I should be doing the way that I promote my stuff on my YouTube channel. And there's a bunch of things that I haven't done that should help a lot. How to use tags and how to use the demographics right and all this type of stuff.
Oh, cool.
It's kind of exciting.
I'm glad. Yeah, that is exciting. Because
do you know about that stuff? Do you understand all that digital marketing stuff?
No. I'm interested, but, I haven't worked much on that side of Shuttlepod. And I don't have a real reason at the moment to get into it, but I'm curious. I want to know.
Is Shuttlepod a full-time job for you, or would you consider like part-time, or?
For me, I would say it's that's a good question. I would say it's part-time.
Okay. So you still have to have a side gig to help pay the bills too, besides that, right?
And, for Mark, it's full time.
Okay.
Yeah.
Cool.
It's a lot of work.
So how do you guys fund it then? I mean, it can't just be from YouTube and Patreon, right? Do you have like investors and stuff like that, or?
We have, Patreon members that are been very helpful. Like the people who have bought all of our, Amazon wish list. Oh, okay. And then the theater has been donating the space. So
that's nice.
So that was like, a huge. It's huge.
Yeah.
Yeah. So,
But still, if you got you, Mark, Dominic, and Connor, plus some other people, that's a lot of people.
Yeah.
And if everybody's not doing it for free, if you got to pay them, then that's a lot of money.
Well, at the moment, many of us are. It's like until we move on to the next level.
Yeah, so it's still kind of a labor of love type of thing.
I was just going to say that, yeah.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. That's the arts for you.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but that's why you have to have a side gig too to help pay for the fun stuff.
Mm-hmm. You have to, yeah.
Well, of course, Dominic and Connor can go to conventions and sign autographs and make some dough there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hey, maybe one day I will too,
Yeah. Well, actually, you said you signed some autographs, right?
I did. Yeah. Maybe I'll sign many more.
I would have signed. If I saw you signing autographs, I probably would have asked for one.
Oh. Well, how about this? I'll give you one for free.
Oh, A free autograph.
Yeah.
I'll give you a free autograph too.
We can exchange at the farmer's market.
Yeah. Yeah. Here's, you can just sign my napkin. You know.
No, I want your headshot. Do you have one?
Am I? Let's see. Do I have? I don't have an official headshot. I'm not at that level yet. And I haven't done an official. I haven't even done an audition. I don't know if I ever will. I mean, I'll probably, because right now I'm just getting these little gigs from people that I know, and then I've got my own stuff. So, and then I do all kinds of other shit. I'm like a musician and an IT guy.
Yeah. What do you play? Do you play the piano? Because I grew up playing the piano. And
I play violin was my first thing.
Oh, okay.
And then cello, of course.
Right.
And then I do play a little bit of piano.
Yeah.
Because in music school, everybody has to learn how to play piano.
Yeah.
And tiny bit of guitar, but my main instrument is violin. Yeah, but I do a lot of composing too. And so I have to now as a composer. Also, I do take conducting lessons, and I've conducted several things, mostly to conduct my own pieces. But I'm also.
When did you start playing the cello and?
Violin I started when I was like 4.
Yeah.
Because my mom was a violin teacher.
Yeah. Oh, cool.
Yeah. When did you start piano?
At 5. So my grandfather played, my dad played, my uncle played, and all, they want all the kids to play, and it just ran in the family. So yeah, it's like, while I didn't like get into creative writing or do theater, like I played the piano, clarinet, and
clarinet.
I danced, throughout middle school and high school, and it was in high school. It was in high school that I started modeling. I always forget about this. It didn't feel, it wasn't the kind of creative outlet that we've been talking about.
Right.
But, there was a commercial class in the modeling school.
Do you still have your clarinet?
No.
Yes. I wrote a clarinet concerto a while ago.
Really?
Yeah.
Do
you have a piano, right? Or a digital piano or something like that you can still play on?
Yeah. It's in storage right now, but I want to get it. I want to get it in here.
Is it like classical or jazz or?
Yeah, a little classical, a little jazz. It's just like, I was very like on and off. But yes, just classical. I was learning.
So you play like Chopin
piano
and stuff like that, or?
Yeah.
How good did you get?
Good enough where I could pick it up again and probably be really good, but yeah, not really, really good.
Ah, too bad.
Yeah.
Too bad you didn't know about that Jay Lee's recital.
I would have loved it.
He's super good.
Yeah.
And it was in a pretty small theater. Like sat like maybe 50 to 75 people. And the acoustic was pretty dry, so you could hear everything he did. All the subtleties of the voicings and, all that kind of stuff came through. And it was really good playing. And there was like an 8-foot Steinway they played on. And surprisingly, he didn't play any Mozart or Beethoven. He just stuck with like a lot of Chopin and then Debussy. He did play a Scott Joplin piece. And he played that famous Satie piece, the tia dee dee da da tia dee dee tum. That one.
Yeah, I know that one.
And that was the only one that I criticized him on. I said, the tempo for that seemed too fast to me. But all the other pieces, he started with the Rachmaninoff C sharp minor prelude. That one that goes dum bum bum. On that one.
Yeah.
He played it really well. It was beautiful.
Really?
Yeah, the way he voiced the chords. And the other thing that I was so impressed with is that his musicianship is great. Like, he did a lot of kind of subtle stuff, but he didn't do, even though it was romantic pieces, like Rachmaninoff and Chopin and stuff, he didn't go overboard the way most pianists do, where they just try to really make a big deal out of stuff. But he was very tasteful with the way he did it, but it was extremely musical and extremely expressive. And I'm like, wow, this guy's just really good. So it's the second one of his piano recitals I've gone to, and I'm like super impressed. So I totally want to get him on my show, but I haven't yet. I haven't been able to get through to him to actually talk.
Oh man,
talk about all that stuff. But yeah, and this is Jay Lee, John Lamar, who's on the Orville. And I heard you guys want to get some Orville people on your show too.
I believe we do. I think it'd be great.
Yeah. Well, somehow I was actually promising Mark. I'm like, Mark, I have some kind of inroads into the Orville. I might be able to help you guys out. So it's still a bit of a long shot, but who knows?
Yeah.
So
you never know. We were out to dinner and they were all sitting next to us. I think they all kind of they know the Star Trek people. And
yeah.
I think will be easy to get some of them on the show.
Yeah. Well, I think the trick is you just get one of them. And if that person likes it, then you get all the rest.
Mm-hmm.
You know. So.
Well, it was so great talking to you.
I know you too.
Make some dinner.
Okay. Very good. And then I'll let you know when I'm in town, and hopefully we can go out, me and Mark and whoever, and hang out at our favorite restaurant over at the farmers market.
Yeah, exchange some autographs.
Yeah. Or I have a better one. If you get your, well, of course I'd have to rent a cello. Yeah. It'd be fun to do some cello and piano things sometime.
Oh,
when I'm down there. How quick can you learn stuff?
You got at this point, you have to give it to me in advance, but I'll learn it.
Like how far in advance?
It depends on the difficulty. I don't know. Give me a month.
Okay. Well, there's that Rachmaninoff vocalise.
Yeah.
Da 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 da.
That's a nice one.
Yeah, and the piano part is really beautiful, but it's not super hard. It's just a lot of 8 notes from what I remember.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay, we'll figure out something.
I like that.
Cool.
Okay.
Okay, Erica. Well, I always do this. But let's do this. You know what? We don't always have to do that. Let's do
both.
Yeah.
We can start here.
You can start there. Namaskar, Devi. Do you do yoga and stuff?
I used to.
Okay.
I got my yoga mat right there.
Well, there you do. So you're a yogini.
Yeah.
And you do meditation?
I used to.
Well,
I'm slacking a little in those areas, but I want to get back to it. It's a huge part of my life.
Before dinner, you know this book, right?
Oh, yeah. I love that guy.
Yeah. I actually have 2 books. I have 2 of the same book.
Oh, yeah.
Well, I totally subscribe to his.
Is that his other book right there? The orange one?
The orange one is The Martian.
Oh, no.
However, you did. Okay, so your brain hooked into some spiritual energy because in the last interview I did, this book wasn't here. There was these 2 books. Like that is what it was sitting on. So you still knew where to look, where the energy of these books is still sort of vibrating over there.
His other book is called A New Earth, I believe.
Yep. I was just trying to find that because I have it, but I was looking all around. I wanted to actually have the new Earth right here. Actually, I wanted to have the new Earth right here where the Martian is, because it's orange.
Oh my God!
Yeah, I know that book. Yeah, so
we're connecting on a spiritual level.
Yeah, his deal, of course, is you don't have to meditate for 3 hours a day. All you have to do is go, bam, be in the moment, find the silence within a second or two, you can just ground yourself and be there.
Gosh, I can't. It's been a while.
Do that
I look
all day long.
forward
Just
to reading.
always remind yourself to find the silence. That's how I would say. He calls it the presence. I call it the science. Same thing, though.
Same thing. Call it what you want.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay.
So
thank you so much for having me.
Namaskar, Devi, and then live long and prosper. I love you. Okay,
love
guys.
You too.
Okay, I forgot that. So, I mean, like the first time I met you, I came up to you. I said something like, "Have we not met before?" or something like that. Then I said how beautiful you were, and then I gave you a hug and said, "I love you." And then I walked away and like, she probably thinks I'm just this freak.
No, you were great.
Yeah.
God, who was that actor? Were you there when he was hugging me? Doug
Jones.
Doug Jones gave me
hugger.
That's right. When I was talking to you, I believe.
Oh, okay. So you still have Doug Jones energy around you.
Oh, he hugged me like, wow.
Well, he's freaking
hug master.
not only that, I mean, the last time I was there, not this year, but the year before, he was hugging me and kissing me in the forehead and everything.
You've been blessed.
The reason why is because he did it to somebody right in front of me. So I like, can I have some of that too? And he's like, sure, wait your turn. And he did it, and we took all these pictures.
Oh,
so
what a nice guy.
All right, so we got to go. So we say, live long and prosper, I love you.
Live long and prosper, I love you.
Namaskar.
Namaste.
We got to now do some music together. We got to meditate together too.
That would be
stand
fun.
on our heads.
I could try that.
I used to do a headstand. It's been a while.
Yeah.
That one you're not supposed to do unless you really know what you're doing. Anyway, whatever. We got to say bye.
Okay,
bye.
Bye.
Fantastic creations emerging spontaneously from the space of life.
For the benefit of all beings everywhere.
We gotta